This Football League looks easy peasy, isn't it? I can't believe we thought we might struggle this season. Back to back is on again, boys and girls. Hello and welcome to part 58 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two matches in League 2 for you. We're at home against Cambridge and away against Woking. Cambridge is a bit of a local derby. I'm not sure if we actually put them on as rivals. Let's just double check. Are Cambridge rivals? No, even though they are relatively nearby. We should be able to change our rivals because a lot of these are teams. We never played Peterborough Sports, Peterborough Northern Star. I don't think we ever played Wisbech or Stamford. We might have played Stamford. We certainly never played Deeping Rangers or Yaxley, I don't think. We need to be able to update these as time goes on because these are so outdated. But that's not important. Cambridge are just down the road. We're going to consider it a derby. And since you were last with me, things have been going delightfully. As you can see, October was a very pleasant month. Notable for the fact that Mick Powell didn't start a game in it. He did pick up a little bit of a knock. And then Prince Chiddy was playing well. He hasn't been scoring very prolifically. 4 goals from 9 starts. I think Powell has 6 from 6. But he was injured. So that's my excuse for giving Chiddy the extended run in the team. Powell is back today, though. So the question is, that run of form was largely without Mick Powell. Will we continue winning with him? Or is it a situation of he scores but doesn't contribute as much to the team as Chiddy does, who turns us into a winning team and is drawing a lot of goals out of the players around him, the wingers, the attacking midfielders, the likes of Ainley, Jarvis, Ryan de Havilland, Tilly even scoring a goal for us there, Ainley again. It's a question. So, the league table, just before we go any further, and I didn't realise this had happened, because I was playing this late last night and was kind of just getting through the games towards the end. Just the last couple of games was very quick, not really focusing on anything other than trying to win the games, not paying attention to what was going on between them at all. So I hadn't realised until I just opened the game up this morning that we're 6 points clear at the top of the league. I had a vague idea that we were top. I didn't realise we were that top. But we're 6 points clear at the top of the league. And things are looking good. 15 games in. We just need to maintain this form for the rest of the season. And we could be finding ourselves playing in League One next year. Which I think that might be a step too far. But we'll see. We'll see how we cope with it. But obviously we have a lot of games left to play this season, etc, etc, etc. And also we have a debut today. We signed him a little while ago. He wasn't fully fit. It's taken him a little while of playing under 23 games and just generally building up some match fitness. But Oliver Pendlebury is a new signing that we brought in the moment Lerick Fernandez got injured, because I don't know if it happened before the last episode, but Lerick Fernandez is injured. He's out for a couple of months and he's still our top scorer and best player. I can't even find him. Where is Lerick Fernandez? Take off those squads because we don't need them. Lerick Fernandez he's actually just returning from injury now. That shows how long it's taken to get Pendlebury match fit, because Fernandez was out for a couple of months initially. He's still not fully fit to play, but he's 22 years old, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, so almost as good as Lerick Fernandez. Previously at Reading, but never actually got to play for Reading. Did have a full season for Boreham Wood in the National League like 3 years ago, but hasn't played a game of football since. Hence, he wasn't very fit, but he's going to be making his debut today in the Lerick Fernandez position, central midfield, on attack. Let's see if we can have a player we own who can actually end up good in that position, although obviously Fernandez, he's one of our own. We're going to bring him back permanently one day. But this is our team for today. We've got Civitar in goal. A back four of Pasala, Maguire, Santos and Daly Campbell. I did mention the team would gradually start to look a little different from last year's team as we moved over the course of like September, October. We'd gradually start to bring some of the new signings in. You can see that's definitely something we've done at the back. I wouldn't expect Pasala to necessarily start constantly, but we're just trying to rotate a little bit. We've been playing 2 games a week for a long time, and Pasala's nearly as good as Webber now, and I'm kind of rotating the two. I think we've got 2 very good left backs there, and Pasala has a huge amount of potential. So probably long term, Pasala is going to be the guy who comes in and takes that position. But we need to give him some games. and we're going to do that today. Maguire and Santos, so these are the two centre-backs we signed in the summer, with the plan being that this would be our centre-back partnership. It's just taken them a little while to force their way into the team because we had some good players established in those roles previously. But Pasala, Maguire, Santos and Daly Campbell as our back four, Shane Phillips as the defensive midfield player, Pendlebury and Jarvis in midfield, and then a front three of Tyler, Powell and Ainley. Let's get into the game and see if we're as good as that league position seems to indicate, because we've not been steamrolling over teams. We've not been absolutely dominant in matches. It's been a lot of narrow victories and draws, but I guess we're in more consistent form than everybody else. It seems to be a very inconsistent league. So there you go, we're the favourites here. Go out there, enjoy yourselves. Excellent stuff. Can we play the game, please? We can play the game. And I love the fact that we're in that position in League Two with two home originals still in the team, Phillips and Powell. It is insane how good that first batch of youth that we got when the team generated. I'd be interested to know, actually, now the home database has been out for like nearly 2 months at this point. We released it on Twitter back at the start of January. So there's going to be some of you who are playing as home and are probably a good few years into your saves. Was your initial... Did you get a golden generation to start with? Because obviously... Oh, Powell's injured again. Because obviously the database starts with no players registered for home. So it has to generate a bunch of players for you. I'd be interested in knowing if you got a golden generation like we did with Morris, Harris, Phillips and Powell. And were your players a little bit more spread positionally so you didn't have two holding midfielders and two strikers? Because it would have been handy to have 4 brilliant youths that we could have all played at the same time, and we never really did that. Phillips always playing second fiddle to Morris. Powell was kept out of the team by Harris for that whole of the first season. It would have been nice to have 4 different positions so they could have all played together. We never really got to see the 4 of them in the same team yet. That day will come. Right, 0-0 at half-time. Nothing has really happened there. I am worried about Mick Powell. What's he actually done? Potential foot injury. We know they can be bad. Let's passionately say we've been the better team here. Keep doing what you're doing. A goal will come, because we have been better. We've had 59% possession. We've had more chances, more shots. We've just been the better team. We just need to find a way through to score a goal. We've picked up another injury. Cambridge is so dirty. They're treating it like a local derby. Tanner comes on for Daly Campbell. And, yeah, that's not good. Pasala with a free kick. That's something Webber doesn't have in his arsenal. Maguire, header comes back. Was that off the bar or was it saved? Either way, good header from Powell, Maguire. I did hear you all tell me apparently that's Harry Maguire's brother. I didn't realise that. That makes sense. I'm vaguely aware of who he is from the World Cup and whatnot. So we've got him, which you all already knew, so I didn't feel the need to tell you. Pasala with the corner. Chidi can't quite get onto it, but we win another corner. 25 minutes to go. Are we actually going to get the opportunity to make a tactical change? Jarvis with the corner, aimed towards Chidi again, but it's cleared, and now Cambridge have got the opportunity to break on us, but Pasala's played very well today. Webber needs to... I mean, remember, when we first signed Webber, there was talk then of converting him to a centre-back, because he's tall, he seems to have all the attributes you'd need to be able to play a centre-back. If Pasala is going to be as good as he looks, perhaps it is time to convert Webber and see if he can force his way in, maybe at centre-back, although we've got a good centre-back partnership now as well. Jarvis from range, and it goes just wide. And we need to have a look at making a change. Who have we got? Connor Stanley could come on. Pendlebury's been poor. We've got Will Collar who could come on, or Mick Pugh. So it's whether we bring Collar on for Pendlebury and carry on playing as we are, or bring Mick Pugh on and go a little bit more attacking. We're going to go a bit more attacking. We're going to stick Pugh up there. We're going to leave those two in the roles they're in and just stick Pugh up behind Chidi for the last 20 minutes and hopefully find a breakthrough. Pasala with a free kick again, forcing a save out the Cambridge keeper, and Chidi was offside. Pasala has been the star of this game. He is involved in everything. We definitely need to get Webber training to play centre-back, because we need to be giving Pasala more game time, because I think we have a bit of a star on our hands here. Pasala again, and it's just over. The one thing he needs is to actually hit the target with one of these. Would have been nice for him to grab a goal. He's terrified the Cambridge keeper all match with these free kicks, but ultimately it has just been a 0-0 draw. But we might have just seen the emergence of a star in the shape of Pasala. Let's assertively say we should have won that game because we should have done. But now who do I play at left back in the next match? Oh, it's a nice problem to have. Mark it off on your cliche bingo cards. Right, a big pile of injury-enforced changes for the second game then. The back four looks completely different. Pasala's dropped back down to the bench. Webber comes back in. I've also brought Proctor back in for Maguire. Santos is the only one to keep his place. Tanner comes in for the injured Daly Campbell. In midfield, we've brought de Havilland in for Jarvis, who played in the last game. Just trying to find a combination that works in midfield. Ryan de Havilland is another one who's got absolutely bags of potential and that partnership might work. Who knows? And of course, Chiddy comes in for the injured Mick Powell. Powell's going to be out for just a couple of weeks. We have got Polisky on the bench as well, is another one who came in the summer, who has lots of potential. If Chiddy doesn't work out while we've got Powell injured again, Polisky maybe could come in and take his place. The Mick Powell situation is an interesting one though, and I'm not criticising him for once, but he went so long, like 5 seasons of consecutive matches, never getting injured. Got injured obviously for Wembley in the playoff final. This is his second injury this season. I don't know if it's all that football as a youth catching up with him and we pushed him too hard, too young, and now we've broken him, or whether he just can't cope with training full time and that's making him injured more often, and maybe we just need to lower his training down a little bit. But either way, now he's hit, I think he's 22 now, Mick Powell. He seems to be getting injured a lot, which is a worry. 3 injuries in the last 5 months of game time after 5 years with no injury is something that needs monitoring, I think. Right, we're going to try assertive. We should be winning this match. Let's go win this match. We're away against Woking. I don't know where Woking are in the league. Woking are nowhere. Woking don't exist. Can anyone see Woking? Where are Woking are there? 15th place. So really, it's a team that we should be roughly equivalent to because we're supposed to be a mid-table team as well. So perhaps that team talk was a little bit ambitious because they're not a team we should be beating away from home without any problem at all. But maybe that's the kind of team talk the players need. Perhaps we don't always have to be honest in team talks. Perhaps sometimes we just need to tell them what they need to hear to be able to go out and get the result that we need, which would be nice. I think that's a former Posh Youth player on the bench there, Oscar Borg. But I'm not going to click on him because I don't want him to come on and score, because we all know that's what happens. Right, Chiddy with the free kick. I thought he'd whipped that into the top corner, but actually it looked like it went well wide. Chiddy is on borrowed time at the moment, because I know there's the successor to Mick Powell was always going to struggle. Mick Powell's been our main man for so long that whoever came in first to take his place was always going to get criticism. And I think Chiddy is probably getting it. I consider the comment section to be representative of the home fans at matches. And I think Chiddy, with him being a lone player, is probably getting a lot of stick at the moment. So Polisky might be getting an opportunity in this second half to see if he might be the man who can deputise for Powell while he's not available. Right, let's assertively... We've been the better team. Keep doing what you're doing. Are we really going to have 2 0-0s? We did this... It wasn't in home yesterday, was it? Was it non-league to legend yesterday? Maybe we did 2 0-0s. I've got to stop showing you 2 0-0s. Come on now. We need goals in matches that you're actually watching. Otherwise, it starts to get ridiculous. Someone's got to score in the second half. Please. Chiddy's having a terrible game. We're going to take him off on the hour mark. And in fact, we're going to take him off now. We're going to see what Polisky has got to offer. Right, not Tyler. Chiddy off, Polisky on. Interestingly, the game was telling me to bring on Mick Pugh, who I'm pretty sure can't play, certainly not as a lone striker. He'd be probably all right alongside another striker, but he's an attacking midfielder who can play up front. But it's a little, I don't know if that's an indication of how good Mick Pugh is, that we should bring him on and play him out of position, or how bad Polisky is, that, yeah, we've got him on the bench, but he's not any good, don't bother bringing him on. But my assistant manager seemed to think Mick Pugh was the man to come on. Proctor, out to Tyler. Tyler beats his man and then lets him catch up and gives the ball back to him, which Didn't make any sense at all. Tanner collects the ball, plays it forward to Ainley. Ainley does beat his man and keeps on running. Plays the ball across to Polosky. That was beautiful from Ainley. Polosky hits the post with, I think, his first touch of the game. But that was absolutely outstanding wing play from Ainley. And at least someone showing a little bit of attacking oomph. We're going to try and score a goal, which would be nice. Right, we're going to change both of the central midfielders. We're going to do that. And we're going to keep this system. We're going to play Pugh a little bit deeper than he normally plays in a midfield 2 or 3, I guess, rather than pushing him further forward. In fact, forget that. Let's push him further forward. Now, he had his 10 minutes. Nothing happened. Let's try this. 10 minutes of this. Somehow, we've got to find a goal from somewhere. We're going to show some passion for the last 10 minutes. I'm trying to get... We were 6 points clear at the start of the episode. Now it's 2 because we've forgotten how to score goals. Goodness me. What is going on? We've only had 6 shots in the entire... We've had 67% of the possession, but we're not actually creating chances with it. We might have to rethink this controlled possession system. Polosky's in, and Polosky gets his first ever goal for home, and that was absolutely out of nowhere, and it was a lovely finish. Have we seen the birth of 2 new heroes in this episode? We had Pasala in the first match, and that is an excellent piece of attacking play from Polosky. He brings the ball down beautifully, calmly slots it over into that far corner. It looked like Thierry Henry scoring that. That was beautiful. Probably be the only goal he ever scores for us, but I think that was more effective than anything we've seen either Powell or Chiddy do this season. So that's interesting. That's something we need to consider going forward. But in fact, we're not going to be passionate because it wasn't that good. That was a good performance, which makes me ask why we can't play like that on a consistent basis. We're top of the league. A good win, well done, I think, is all we need. I can't criticise us for being top of the league. That would be absolutely insane, because I think that's put the gap back up to 4 points again, which is very pleasant. Right, let's see where we're going to be back for our next game. We're going to do another 6 league games, so we'll ignore the cup stuff until the FA Cup third round comes around, if we get to that point. So we'll go through to... I guess we'll do Oldham and Swindon. Last 2 games before the transfer window opens. That seems sensible. So we'll be back for the Oldham game tomorrow. And hopefully by then we'll have set up an FA Cup third round as well, which would be very handy because we need the money. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.